Okay, so setting's a little different, but welcome to another unboxing, and this is a McFarlane DC Universe Poison Ivy from the movie Batman and Robin. Now, oftentimes I don't talk about the packaging on these McFarlane figures too much, since there's once you've seen one, you've seen them all. But this one's got a little something different to it. Look at that. Got a red background on the side. They went all out and did something special for this one. Got the Batman and Robin emblem on the side there, and of course it says Poison Ivy from Batman and Robin, which is until recently I would have said was the worst Batman movie before the Robert Pattinson Batman movie came out anyway. So yeah, let's go ahead and well, not quite open her up yet. Let's have a look at the back. So there is Mr. Freeze, big image of Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze there, and it says collect to build over here on the side, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 as far as the pieces go. But honestly, I think that the is the microphone working? I can't tell. I'm doing this on my computer, whereas I used to do it on. I used to edit name. I can edit my name. Good, because I didn't mean to do that yet. There, we can have my full name. But yeah, I don't know. I can't tell if the microphone's working. Usually, when I do this on my phone, it has like a little screen where I can tell the microphone's working, but I can't tell this time. So I'm not used to doing it on my computer like this. Now it's unmuted, so hopefully you can hear me on this thing. So there's one way I can tell. If I can use my phone. That's neat. So, but yeah, I am gonna open this up. I'm still trying to, have a look at the how this works with the computer as opposed to the phone. I usually do it on my phone, but I figured since I got my computer set up, we'll try it this time. So since I got it set up over near this couch, so I do like to shoot these videos on a couch because I find that works out the best. So let's open up my YouTube on my phone. And oh, hey, look, there I am live. Yeah, I can hear it. And oh, hey, look, there I am live. And like most people, I hate the sound of my own voice. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself a like. So if you're watching this, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe and click the little bell and all that kind of stuff. While I'm thinking about it, we'll turn that down. So I don't want to hear myself talk. I don't know why you want to hear me talk. Why are you here? No, but I've been looking forward to these for a long time, and mainly this one. This one was actually the one I wanted the most because I don't have a figure of Poison Ivy in this scale yet, and I really liked the design of her in the movie. There's a lot to be critical about with this movie, but they did a good job with her costume. Anyway, you look at the back here, and it's got the parts on here, and this one says part number 2, but I'm going to go ahead and open it up first because it's the torso, and you attach everything to the torso. The order that I'm going to open these in is going to be very dependent on how to put together the Build-A-Figure, which I think is the most important thing. I do have all 4 of these figures. They all arrived from Amazon this week, so we're going to open them all up, and we're going to start with this one because it's got Mr. Freeze's torso in it. The order I'm going to go in is different from how it says to do it on the box, where it says this is number 2. But this is the part that like nearly everything attaches to the torso. So you want to have the torso open first, right? That's what I figure. So the order I'm going to go in is 2, then 3, then 1, then 4. 4 is the only one I'm going to do in the proper order. So 2, then 3, then 1, then 4. So 3 is the arms. So I'll attach the arms to the torso. And then 4 is the head and shoulder plates and the freezing gun. So obviously you want to have the torso open first because that's what you're going to attach everything to. And then I want to attach the arms because I got to have something to hold the freezing gun. I can't attach the freezing gun. That's the one piece I can't attach to the torso is the freezing gun. So the torso, then the arms, then the head, armor, all the little pieces that come with Batgirl, head, armor, and the freezing gun, and the little blast that attaches the freezing gun. And then Batman comes with the legs, so Batman will be the last one to be open, but it's best for last anyway. He's Batman, so he's the main character. So, but the one I was most excited about was Poison Ivy because I don't have a Mcfarlane Poison Ivy figure yet, and you know, Poison Ivy is probably the one figure in this line that I would like. I wouldn't mind having as like my definitive version. Like, of course, I'm happy to have an Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Freeze, or a George Clooney Batman in my collection, but I would not want them to be like the only version of Mr. Freeze or Batman that I had. So let's go ahead and open it up. There we go. And the inside is pretty typical. Oh, there's a QR code on here, so we can scan the QR code and see how that do. Let's go ahead and do that since I have my phone handy. I'm not shooting on my phone like I often do, so I can scan the QR code and see what that gets me. I'm guessing something to do with DC Universe Infinite, since it's got a little logo for DC Universe Infinite right next to it. But it also has like a phone with a picture of the poster for Batman and Robin on it. So why is this? So open up this QR scanner that I have on my phone, but it's like wanting me to register, and I'm sure I've used it before. And I've already wasted like a lot of you guys' time like talking about nonsense, so I don't really want to waste any more time. P QR. Yeah, that's the right one, isn't it? I don't know where your register was. Well, now it doesn't. So. Okay, so DC Universe Infinite, sure enough, Harley Quinn, black and white, redder. Was it black and white, or is it redder? Or is it Reddit? I've certainly seen pictures of Harley Quinn on Reddit, or at least girls cosplaying as Harley Quinn, or at least girls like, partially cosplaying as Harley Quinn. Don't judge me. All right, so where were we? So there is the picture out of the package, and we can see her without some of the glare from the package. And we'll get back to her in a second. First, let's go ahead and get the trading card and the stand off of here. And unfortunately, they're not on the same bubble. Sometimes Mcfarlane puts this stuff all in the same bubble, and sometimes they don't. I prefer for them to put it all in the same bubble, so it makes it easier for me to get it off. So here is her figure stand. It is a pretty typical Mcfarlane figure stand. Got a little DC logo on it in glossy black paint. So it's black on black, but as you can see, it still stands out really well because the stand itself is kind of matte, and then the glossy paint for the stand. Stand's always easy to get off. The tricky part is getting off this card. And thankfully, the bubble came off fairly easily. I think I should get the card out with little to no damage. And there we go. It's the image of Thurman as she appeared on the poster. And a lovely picture it is, too. Let's read the back of the card. Poison Ivy, Batman and Robin, data file, real name Pamela Isley. The Dark Knight battles his greatest threats yet, the cold-hearted Mr. Freeze and venomous Poison Ivy. How can they refer to George Clooney as the Dark Knight? Dude was like the least dark Batman. like Adam West was Ben Affleck next to George Clooney. That's the kind of darkness we're talking about. Oh man, like any of them's better than Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson's terrible. All right, so where was I? The Unstoppable Root, known only as Bane. Batman finds himself at odds with his crime-fighting comrade Robin, no longer satisfied with his role as a sidekick, as Mr. Freeze threatens to unleash a new ice age upon the citizens of Gotham City. The dynamic duo are now joined by the heroic newcomer Batgirl, must learn to work as a team before Gotham City is put on ice. Now, you notice something funny about this bio for Poison Ivy? I'll give you a hint. It's not really a bio about Poison Ivy. It's just a summary of the movie. So I'm guessing that as I read the rest of these cards, they're all going to be identical to this one, and that is lazy. I want a Pamela Isley bio on my trading card. So for those of you out there in the audience, I'm going to give you a Pamela Isley bio. I'm going to give you what should have been on this card. So here we go. Working for Wayne Enterprises at their mysterious Gilgamesh wing, Pamela Isley stumbled onto a plot to create super soldiers for, shall we say, corrupt governments. When Jason Woodrue attempted to kill her for her knowledge, Isley was resurrected as Poison Ivy, a plant-human hybrid with toxin in her lips. She then teamed with the mysterious super soldier Bane to go to Gotham City and begin her plan of revenge and world conquest. There we go. Something like that. I don't know. I'm not like a writer, and I'm just coming up with this stuff off the top of my head. But you know what makes my bio a better bio of Poison Ivy is it's actually a bio of Poison Ivy. So, very disappointed in the back of that trading card, I must say. So, but hopefully I will not be disappointed by this figure. So let's go ahead and take it out of the package. We'll start with the Mr. Freeze torso. Since we're not going to talk too much about this one, obviously, since, you know, it's just a part of an action figure. And I'm going to want to put together the whole action figure before I talk about it. Now, I will point out that some of these parts do kind of come off of it rather easily when I'm examining it. The butterfly joints are not permanently attached into the figure in any way. And, of course, the trunks kind of slid off when I was trying to take it out. So, but we can put it all back together. The trunks are kind of like a soft Mcfarlane kind of material, and the butterfly joints seem a little more rigid. And most of this is just molded in silver plastic with very little paint detail. It looks like the only paint detail I can see is the blue on his shoulder armor. So let's go ahead and set that aside, and we will talk about Mr. Freeze another day when I have the whole figure put together. All right, so let's go ahead and get Miss Pamela Isley, a.k.a. Poison Ivy, a.k.a. Vine Lady, a.k.a. Garden Gal, out of the package, and hopefully I won't scratch her up with this X-Acto knife and turn her into mulch. Clever little Clover. And then she's got one more that is directly around her breasts. That's just weird. All right. I think that's all the rubber bands. Now she can come out of here rather easily. There we go. Okay, so let's have a look at Poison Ivy. And the first thing I want to say is this is a rather excellent likeness of Uma Thurman. Great likeness of Uma Thurman. Looks just like her. And for those of you who are old enough to have had the Kenner Batman and Robin figures when you were a kid, and I was certainly old enough that I was able to buy those off the pegs. Wasn't a kid anymore, but I was an adult action figure collector. I was, fairly young at the time, but still, I was not a minor anymore. And I didn't really play with action figures anymore, but I was still collecting them. And I was really disappointed with that Uma Thurman Poison Ivy figure because, for one thing, the costume didn't look anything like what it looked like in the movie. And she was just basically wearing just like a basic green leotard, and it was not not anywhere near as detailed as this one as far as the sculpting or the painting or anything like that goes. So and certainly it did not have as good a likeness as this one. So which this one looked exactly. Dead Ringer looks just like Uma Thurman, whereas the Kenner figure to me looked like Fonzie. It was not a good likeness. So she looked like Henry Winkler. I like Henry Winkler. I'm a fan of Henry Winkler. I just recently for Christmas, one of the Christmas movies I watched was his version of A Christmas Carol called An American Christmas Carol. It's worth checking out. TV movie from the 1970s. So, but Henry Winkler ain't Poison Ivy. So, but man, look at a lot of the detail of this. I don't know if it's even coming across as well on the camera as to do it justice, but all the leaves are sculpted in, and there's little vines in between the leaves, and there's airbrushing, and look at the little leaves on her tights are painted in, and the way that they painted her tights is really good because it gives it like this nice illusion that she's actually wearing some nylons, and it's got the thing going on with the legs where they kind of slowly fade into black, and then she's got black high-heeled shoes. So it gives it the illusion of having boots, but I don't believe she was wearing boots. I believe that it's just like high-heeled shoes. That's certainly the way it's sculpted, as if she's just wearing high-heeled shoes. And they do have like a little bit of reinforcement here so they can fit the peg hole and not interfere with the articulation too much. So there's a little bit of fudging as far as how they did her shoes, but I'm not going to complain. She does definitely have like a stiletto kind of heel to it, at least as close as you can get it with a Mcfarlane or any kind of action figure, really. And then she's got her little thing in her palm. I'm not sure what you call it, but she had a little leaf in her palm where she'd have her little pheromone dust collected on it. She could blow. And her hair is like really soft and rubbery, kind of plastic, so you can kind of, bend it around and still give her lots of different poses as far as that goes. So that's nice. So it is still going to hinder the neck articulation somewhat, but not as badly as you might think. So let's have a look at the rest of her articulation. So she can't look up too high, again, because of the hair. She can't look down too low, again, because of the hair. But you can get a little bit of movement back and forth with that. More so looking down than looking up, I find. So, of course, her arm rotates all the way around. She's got some butterfly joints, so her arms can go back about that far and forward about that far. Her arms go up, not like that. So not all the way, but close enough to all the way. So at least that's a 90-degree angle. And then down to her sides, about like that. So they don't rest entirely at her sides, but close enough. So then we do have a cut here at the top of her upper length gloves. Again, so we can get a look at that. The gloves aren't painted at all, and it seems to me like there should be some paint around the vine trim that we see at the top. I could be mistaken about that. It's been a minute since I've seen this movie, but next time I watch it, I'll check and make sure. She got double jointed elbows with a really good range of movement at the elbows there. She's got the cool Mcfarlane ball jointed wrists, so you can pose these wrists in any number of positions. So that's cool. She's got the great Mcfarlane torso articulation, so we can wiggle her torso all over the place, and that's cool. Legs go up about that far. A little hindered by the rubber trunk piece, but not as hindered as you might think. She can do the splits no problem. You know, I probably would like for her to do a little more of a split, but that's fine. Knees are, of course, double jointed, so got a pretty good range of motion on the knees. And then, of course, we have the Mcfarlane rocker ankles, so we can pose our ankle however we really want to. And it looks like that's about as high up as they go, and that's about as low down as they go. And, of course, they rotate all the way around that way, and then rotate here at the shoe where it rotates all the way around. And then, of course, she's got the toe articulation because they want to show off. So this is an excellent action figure. They did a really good job with this. And if you're like me and you think that this is a really good design for Poison Ivy, just in general, like, you know, this is the one figure in this set, like I said, that I kind of feel like you could have just be your definitive Poison Ivy. I don't think, you know, anybody's going to want Chris O'Donnell to be their definitive Robin. And even if they do, they probably more prefer the one from Batman Forever, where he's actually wearing a Robin costume and not a Nightwing costume. But of course, we'll talk more about that tomorrow when I open up that figure. But this is a really comic book accurate Poison Ivy costume. This is really close to what she wore in the comics. The one difference is they kind of added these leafy eyebrow things, but I think that's a nice touch. I always thought that looked pretty decent. And I'm going to experiment with trying to get this to have a little less glare. I've got the overhead light on. I might want to see if I can get a lamp or something. So it's just taking a little bit of thought just at how I want to shoot from this room exactly. But yeah, the sculpting is great. The paint jobs, the paint applications are great. A lot of good detail to it. And, you know, great figure of Poison Ivy in general. Great figure of Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy specifically. If I could only have one figure in this set, this probably would have been the one I would have picked anyway. So I kind of started with the best figure, so almost worried that I kind of shot my load at this point as far as this series goes. But don't worry, we've got 4 more figures to cover in this set. With Robin will be tomorrow, and then Batgirl will be the next video, and then Batman, and then I will have all the pieces put together for Mr. Freeze, so we can do a video where we talk about Mr. Freeze. So not an unboxing video, of course, because the figure will already be out of the box and put together, but we can still talk about the figure anyway. So that's pretty much it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please make sure that you like and subscribe and all the fun YouTube stuff down below. Leave a comment and let me know what you think about this figure yourself. So since I'm doing this on my computer, I don't really know how to turn this off. Like there it is up here at the corner. It says end stream. So I click on that, and that will end the stream. So yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this figure. Let me know what you think about Poison Ivy as far as this movie goes, and the character in general, but especially as far as this movie goes. Uh, I, uh, I actually liked Uma Thurman's performance in this movie because she was the only person besides John Glover who seemed to know what kind of movie she was actually in, and she definitely was like chewing up the scenery. But I kind of feel like it was appropriate for the tone of the movie. Like, if you accept that movie for what it is, like it can be fairly entertaining, but you need to accept that it's just trying to be a ridiculous movie and not trying to take the character seriously at all. So I still say it's not the worst Batman movie anymore. I still say the Pattinson one is a much worse Batman movie because it's boring. And at least Batman and Robin wasn't boring. At least it held my attention. So I'll give it that. This bare minimum, it had a Batman who was actually like, competent and good at his job. So that was nice. So anyway, we'll talk to you next time. Bye.